Hey guys, it's Jordan Page from FunCheaperFree.com, and the holidays are here, so today we are talking about entertaining on a budget for a crowd, making it cheap and easy. Oh yeah, let's do this. It is Thanksgiving week. Woo! Turkey, yeah! But whether you're watching this right now or whether you're watching this in the future, the reality is that there comes a time in our life where it is time to throw a party. Party, yeah. Party. Entertaining is part of life and is certainly part of the holidays. I know for my husband Bubba and I, we love to host friends and family, but we do not love when it breaks the bank. So after years and years of perfecting the entertaining a crowd on a budget thing, today I'm here to share with you some of our best tips and tricks for throwing an amazing dinner or party or event on a budget without sacrificing any quality or fun. You ready for this? Let's get to the tips. Tip number one of entertaining on a budget is you gotta set a budget. I know you're tired of hearing me say that word, but it's how it goes. Trust me, setting a budget is what will allow you to entertain more. You won't entertain more in spite of setting a budget. I promise. In fact, my husband and I in the summer, we are notorious for entertaining on average of twice a week all summer long. And people ask, how can you afford that? The reality is we do it really affordably and we set a budget and we stay within that budget and it really isn't so bad. You gotta set that budget. And then once you set the budget, you've gotta track the budget or else what's the purpose? A few weeks ago, I did a video on how to set and track holiday budgets. So go back and watch that. I have tons of tips there, but the same concept I'm gonna use from that video is what you would use to track a party budget or entertaining budget. And that is just use a simple little envelope. You can spend with cash if that's how you prefer to do it, or debit or credit card, but you need to track it on something really simple. And I recommend just a basic envelope because it's so small and compact. You'll always have it with you in your wallet or your bag. And what's nice is it's a really easy way to keep your receipts on hand so that if you end up buying something that you need to return, or if you forgot to track part of your budget, you can go back and recalculate. So envelopes are really nice and so simple. The easiest way to do it is grab yourself an envelope. Yes, it can even be the little free bill ones that you get in the mail. Recycle, reduce, reuse. And so, name that movie, show. Name that show. Anyone? 90s? No? Take your envelope, set a budget for the party or the event, and track it. In this example, let's say I'm throwing a big New Year's party. What I would do is set a budget for the party. Let's say it's $100. What I would do is decide how much of that needs to go toward food, how much of that needs to go toward ugly sweater prizes, or maybe some fun decor, or some minute to win it games, whatever. You can break this budget down and then just track it like an old school check register. Every time you spend money, you just write how much you have left of that budget. Keep this always with you in your wallet, and you always know how much you have left for that budget, for that party, and it's really easy to not go over. Once you have your budget set for that party, now you need to set the menu and decide what kind of party it is. And my number one tip for that is to consider the time of day. I cannot stress this enough. I have a really robust blog post that actually has a table that breaks down what time of day your party is and what type of food you should serve at that party. Check that out, I will link it below. But think about it, if you throw an evening party between the hours of 5 and 7 p.m., you can better believe that people are gonna expect to be fed dinner. Whereas if you throw a late party that's after 8 p.m. or an afternoon party at 3 in the afternoon, you don't need to serve anybody a meal. At that point, just having snacks, hors d'oeuvres, drinks, or desserts would be fine. So set your budget and then decide what the menu should be and plan the time of day accordingly. And by the way, there is no harm in throwing a party that doesn't serve full dinner. There are lots of times I will throw a party at 8 p.m. or later, maybe a white elephant party or an ugly sweater party or a New Year's party, where all we do is have some desserts and snacks because everybody has already eaten, and they're so fun, so don't feel like you have have to feed everybody dinner. Which actually brings me to my next tip, that once you've decided the budget for your party, once you've decided the time of day of your party, you set the menu and you ask for help in providing the food. Make it a potluck. People love to contribute. When I send out my invitations and ask for RSVPs, I will actually say on there, please bring a dessert or side to share. Or if you're having a big party, you could say, if your last name falls between the letters A and N, please bring a drink. Letters O through R, please bring a side. And R, S through Z or whatever, clearly I can't spell, bring something else. You can organize it in a way that people are helping to contribute, and then you're only providing a portion of the meal, not the whole thing. On the same subject of planning your menu, consider planning a menu that will feed a crowd affordably. So for example, let's say I'm going to host people for dinner for a holiday, or let's say I'm going to throw a party, a dinner party. Instead of serving every guest their own pork chop or steak or chicken breast or filet, consider taking the protein, which tends to be the most expensive part of a meal, and breaking it up so that it's still hearty, but that it's supplemented by a lot of other things. Maybe doing a taco bar instead, or a soup and salad bar, a baked potato bar, where protein is part of it, but it is not the hero. Again, I have a blog post that gives tons of menu options and ideas, lots of ways that you can feed a crowd incredible food really affordably, so check that out below. One super inexpensive way to make a big impact when entertaining is to focus on how you serve the food. Now, full-blown disclaimer, I am no gourmet chef. I do not throw fancy parties. I am not really big into the fine details in entertaining. I ain't got time for that, okay? I'm about to have 8 kids. But I do believe that little things go a long way. So let me teach you some of the things I've learned over time. For one, serve your food on platters. It makes such an impact, and it can make even the simplest, most inexpensive food look really beautiful and one notch up. One way that we save money is that when we're deciding what food we want to serve, we start with the food that we already have on hand. As you know, I've got a million grocery shopping videos. I show you a tour of my pantry, my freezers, my fridge, everything. I really believe in keeping food on hand that you can repurpose, even for occasions like throwing a party or hosting dinner. So what we will do is we will shop our own pantry or our own fridge or freezer and serve food that we've already got, even if it's already been opened. Now, nobody really wants to stick their hand in a half-eaten bag of pretzels, so my tip is to take food from one container and to put it in a more beautiful container that your guests won't know that it's come from something that's already been opened. Voila, beautiful and good as new. Save the bag, tuck it away in your pantry or in a cabinet, and then when the party's done, you can put it right back in the bag where it belongs. So instead of serving out of these, you're serving out of these. Ooh, so pretty, ooh. Back in the day, I used to buy cute seasonal platters, and over time, I've realized that this is kind of a waste of money. I do not do this anymore. Instead, I focus on buying all white dishes. White is universal. I feel like no matter what the event, no matter what the time of year, no matter what the occasion, as long as I have all of my dishes being white, it works for any holiday, any event, and I can mix and match, find them as I go, and they all look like they're part of a set. So white is what I have done. You also don't have to pay a lot for your platters and dishes. This was just from Walmart. It was a couple of dollars. I bought a whole stack of them. These were just from Home Goods, so don't spend a ton on platters. Basic ceramic ones are found everywhere, really affordably. Another thing I do to make a big impact is I focus on what we use to serve. So instead of just putting a little plastic fork in the veggie tray, I will find cute little tongs or serving spoons that, again, it doesn't matter what they're eating, it just kind of makes it feel a little bit fancier. And this is a one-time investment. You buy it one time and then you can reuse it again and again, but even still, you don't have to spend a ton for little serving things. and they're really cute. I found these gold silverware set at Home Goods for extremely inexpensive. And so one thing I do is I bust out the gold silverware that is totally machine washable, not expensive or fancy in any shape or form, but it makes my guests feel a little bit special when they get the gold stuff. Who doesn't like gold? When it comes to decorating a table, I try to keep it pretty simple. And what I have done in the past is with my cloth napkins or my tablecloths is, again, I do not buy them with seasonal designs, words, or decorations. I stick with super basic colors that could work for many, many holidays or occasions. I have gone with kind of a sparkly silver, red, which works for so many holidays, even holidays in the summer, or plain old white that can be bleached and kept clean. Easier to wash than you would think. So try to stick with basic colors, solid colors that can work for a lot of different occasions. Lastly, a really simple thing that I do to elevate my table is I use chargers. These, believe it or not, were from the dollar store, and I have had them for over 5 years. You place these under a plate on the table, and it suddenly takes a plain white ceramic plate or whatever you've got on hand and makes it look so cute, so polished, and oh so fancy. So chargers are bomb. You can find these just about anywhere. Totally random bonus tip for you that I have to share. Years ago I learned this. I never knew which side of the plate, in America anyway, to put the silverware. Do you want to know the trick? All you have to know is how to spell. So L-E-F-T has 4 letters, R-I-G-H-T has 5 letters. All right, so anything on the left has 4 letters, anything on the right has 5. F-O-R-K always goes on the left, and then K-N-I-F-E always goes on the right, S-P-O-O-N goes on the right, and then just remember that that the knife goes closest to the plate, and that's it. What? As for decorating your table, don't feel like you have to go out and buy a lot of new things. Shop your house. Go around your house and grab things that you have, add them to your table, and use what you've already got, and then you get a beautiful tablescape for $0 extra dollars. Trust me, you go hunting, you're gonna find stuff. Just get a little creative. And especially for this time of year, with it being Thanksgiving, go outside, find some leaves, some acorns, some rocks, put your kids to work. They'll find something, I promise. And last but not least, actually, we'll consider this a bonus tip. After the party is completely done, do not throw out any leftover food. You can reuse it. I have a video and blog post that I will link below on how to creatively reuse party food, which includes veggie trays, fruit trays, even flat soda and half-eaten bag of chips. You can repurpose all of this stuff and make delicious, fresh food for your family using random leftovers, so check that out. So there you go, those are some of my best tips and tricks for entertaining on a budget. I hope it gives you the courage to throw a party this holiday season or whenever you're watching this video, and to fill your home with people that you love. You don't have to have an amazing house. You don't have to be Rachel Ray or some amazing cook. Just open your doors and have fun. If you want many more ideas like this, check out my free blog, funcheaperfree.com. I also have an awesome productivity and budgeting program. I will link those below, and you can use the code YouTube for 10% off of any program of mine. But you know what the reality is? I've got a lot to do. It's Thanksgiving week after all, so me and this little buddy are gonna go get to work. I will talk to you guys later. We got parties.